Welcome to a new episode of the Destroy Manila podcast. My name is JC. This is
Yay!
Carl, of course, and we are with the main man himself, the head honcho of Lion's Head Boxing Academy, Coach JR.
I'm a
Welcome,
bust
sir.
out. I'm a bust out the magandang gabi to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Carl was telling me that I got to try to speak as much Tagalog as I can in this podcast. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna
You'll
try.
be here.
I'm gonna try.
You'll be
Yeah,
here talking
exactly.
to local coaches. So
What's
let's prep them, right?
Yep.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for having me, guys. I really appreciate
Yep.
both of y'all. Like, before we
Mhm.
start, I think I should just give you your flowers when I say that you guys have been doing such an amazing
Mhm.
job out there in Manila,
Thank you so much.
exposing everybody in the fight industry, and then just like giving props to the people that need it, and then
Mhm.
just like showing out the people that needs that kind of exposure. And once again, man, I'm a big fan of you guys, and ever since the first meeting, like I've been a straight up fan. So thank you
I
for
think I
having me.
just got touched after like 2
Yeah.
years of not being touched. Thank you so
That's
much.
what's up.
Like,
That's what's up.
right back at
Nah,
you,
but
man. You're big fans, and
real,
of course,
real recognize real, right? Real,
Mhm.
real
Oh
recognize
yeah,
real.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Hmm.
Before I get to the boxing questions from JC, you're going to have a
Right.
seminar later
Yes,
this
sir.
in a few weeks in September 15, and it's all about not only boxing but also coaching. What
Yes.
prompted you to because you were here a couple of years back, what prompted you to come back to teach this? And it's not just about the techniques, but it's also about the business of boxing coaching, right?
Mhm.
For sure, for sure. So, first and foremost, let me just correct you on the date real quick. It's going to be September 24th and 25th,
Oh yeah,
2022.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I just
Just
wanted
the
to clear that out.
registration. Apologies. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the final day of the registration. Yeah, but what prompted this whole thing was that something has been like really bugging me out ever since the first time I went to the Philippines.
Mhm.
Right, I remember having a conversation. I think most of you, I mean, both of you has heard this story before. I was talking to a few people, right? Um, this is not a Lord. This is like some other gym, okay?
Mhm.
And I was like, so what's the deal with y'all with the gym and stuff like that? Are you guys like, do you do your own personal thing, or do you just like work strictly for the gym, or you got contracts and whatnot? And they told me they work specifically for the gym, and they're not allowed to like do extra work outside because they're
Mhm.
there for the most of the day, right? But then most of these coaches are based on I think they do have a base salary, but they also have
Mhm.
commission, if I'm not mistaken. So different gyms, different systems, right? And
Yep.
I was like, okay, so you're telling me that if there's nobody that day that's scheduled, you don't get none. They're like, yeah. So what do y'all do? Nothing. Like completely just like some of them sleep in the gym, some
Mhm.
of them like stay close to the gym or whatever. They're from the provinces or whatnot, and they absolutely earn nothing at all. So from that standpoint, from that jump off standpoint, I was like, wait, what? And I was like, just for the sake of it, I was like, how many hours do you think you scroll on your phone a day? And like, oh, about two, three, something like that. And I was shocked. I was like,
Mhm.
wait, so in that period of time, instead of entertainment, you can't find a way for you to. I wasn't like trying to be rude about it, but it
Yeah.
was more like a
They don't count the
experiment.
League of Legends hours that they have on their
Maybe
phone.
not. Yeah, maybe not even that, man. It's just a pure like like mindless scrolling as we call it,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. So
Okay.
after that, I'm like, hold up one second. Like, there's got to be a better way for these people to be able to like, I mean, at the end of the day, man, let's keep it real, right? I mean, we got to put
Mhm.
food on the table.
Yep.
We got to pay our bills, right? So it hurts me to see people in my same career, like in Thailand itself, right? We got plenty of like WBO, WBC champions, former Lumpini champs, and
Mhm.
whatnot, and they can't even make ends meet. So I'm like, with that kind of status, you're supposed to have something that would carry you on a little bit down the future, down the line.
Mhm.
So this is why I started thinking like, okay, what are the systems that we can do? Blah 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 blah. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I got to come back because I got too much on my mind. I've been like giving y'all like previews here and there on my statuses, and it's just, I mean, it's not even like a complete system. I think the most important thing is that they hear it firsthand from somebody who experienced it, and that that solid wall from brick to brick. You know, you build it, it gets broken down. Something didn't what do you call this, like manifested the way
Yeah.
you wanted it. So you got to
Yeah.
break it down again and build it again. See, the thing about most people is that they're so afraid to crack that and rebuild.
Yeah.
They're so stuck into like, yo, this is what's getting me money right now. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
can't blame them. Everybody got bills, like I said, right?
They're stuck in a cycle, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a vicious cycle. And I'm like, I'm not trying to end it, but I'm like, look, if I can provide you with a little bit of information that I can share to y'all, then why not? I've always been that way, like people asking me left and right, hey, how to do this. I never charge nobody nothing, right? But I'm like, my main thing is that, look, for whatever you're gonna invest on me, I'm gonna make sure 100,000% that you're gonna get something out of it. So that's
Yeah.
that's
But
the
that's
reason why I want to come
incredibly
back.
generous of you, sir. Like, I mean, the goal, you've always said that the goal is to impart knowledge and not to keep it for yourself. Like,
For sure, yeah.
has there ever been a point that you just said, like, well, I should keep this to myself because it's made me successful,
Yeah.
but you've never done that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't see the reason why I should keep it in the first place. It's like, what am I gonna do with all that shit? Like, I think there's enough food for everybody to eat. I think people who scared to, or has I wouldn't say scared, but for the people that doesn't want to share that kind of knowledge, I think they're
Yeah.
not very comfortable with where they're sitting at yet in their position in their career or in the level in their career type of thing. I'm not in the world leagues and whatnot. I mean, if somebody thinks I'm world class, hey man, equal respect. Thank you so much for that. But at the end of the day, like, if I can provide somebody with the most littlest information and that could change their day, their week, or whatever, then why not? I mean, wait, hold up one second. I can't curse, right?
You
That's
can.
okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
No, because
No
all
You
fighting
can,
people
man. You
here,
can.
bro.
No worries.
Right?
right. No, because it might slip off, and both of y'all be like, "Yo, you didn't tell him." Now, but
No.
yeah, but to me, man, it's just like, what the hell am I gonna do with all that information if I can't share it? Like, it overflows in my head. Like, sometimes when I teach somebody, like when I have my certification students, I'm like, if I could just literally take this information out of my head and lay it in front of you, then you'd see how much more I can give you. But then again, we got to break it down. So yeah, man, that's just my take on like spreading out the knowledge.
Yeah, your passion is basically like you've made it profitable, and I'm sure a lot of people will like to pick your brain. I mean, we did like
Yeah.
a couple of years back, and it was
Yeah.
very revelatory. But now that you're going to impart it in a kind of like organized manner, like, because of course sometimes it's all just data and hearsay when it's people like paying for something, and I think this is one thing that JC and I have talked about with Gabay Forlales, where you're going to be hosting some of your hello Sir Gerald greetings. Well, yeah, a lot of listeners. We talked about it a couple of years back, and si Gabay Forales, where you'll be doing your seminar in a couple of weeks, has also said that why is it that
Oh, snap.
people sometimes don't value things that are or even advice that they ask for. Like they ask for something but they don't do it. But when they pay for it, it's like somehow valuable now. It's like
Yeah,
we don't get
I
that.
mean, it's weird, right? Like, I think it's like this, right? Like I always say for example, you buy a universal workout machine for your home. I think you know where I'm getting at, right? You get the pec decks, you get the leg extensions and whatnot, and you're like, yeah, man, I never have to like leave the house because it's right here in my home. It's literally 2 feet away from my room. But then what happens to that same piece of equipment 2-3 months down the line? You can't even see because it's full of clothes. It becomes,
It's
right?
a clothes
I mean,
hanger.
yeah, because I think like sometimes the values of things can be overlooked because you're like, okay,
We take it for
like say
granted, right?
you take it for granted, yeah. But when there's value sometimes, and they know that they can't just reach for it just like that, they're like, okay, since I'm paying for it, let me get my money's worth somehow, some way.
You think it's a human thing more than just a fighting community thing? Like people just want to like
Oh yeah.
value things that they strive
Yeah.
for,
In
Oh
general,
yeah,
it's
for
like
sure.
something that everybody does.
right? Right.
Hey, but I'm not like that with shoes though. If I buy my shoes, I wear it. If
I
somebody gives
saw
me
your
shoes, I
birthday gift
wear it.
to yourself, bro. You better value
I,
that.
I had to. Because I've stopped with the shoe collection already. Like that stopped like 2 years ago. I've actually sold a lot of my collection, but I'm like, that's just one of them things. I'm like, hey man, that's looking kind of dope. And so I was like, let me grab those, and I use it.
Mhm.
I think by the time you hit a certain age, it's like, look, let me get myself something, but at the same time,
Mhm.
I can use it, and I know that I won't just like keep it somewhere or whatever, and I can even make. I mean, it is a work. It's my leather shoes at work. Let's just put it that
Mhm.
way,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm sure JC has some boxing questions.
Oh
He's dying
yeah.
to ask you.
Because
Oh
you
wait,
know
wait, wait,
we.
wait. Before
Yeah.
y'all
Yeah.
go on, congratulations to Adrian Lerasan for
Oh
grabbing the
yeah.
Oh yeah.
WBA title. This dude is a
Awesome.
beast. He's a monster. God
Absolutely.
damn, man. I
Congrats.
don't even know why I haven't heard of him before. He's a literal Thai killer. I mean, no offense to the
Mm.
Thais, obviously, but man, this dude got hands for days. I just
Oh,
saw
that's
his
somebody
fight
to
like,
watch out for.
wow, wow. I think he's gonna be up there pretty soon.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, JC, my bad for
Yeah.
cutting
Yeah.
you off,
Oh,
brother.
wait. Shout out to Tim
Yeah.
Montales. Thank you for
And
listening,
there's
sir.
another one who's watching us right now. Coach
Oh, who
Dubai.
is that guy?
Hey, what up, coach?
A master.
The
Yeah. So
master,
Yeah,
exactly.
master. See
he's
you
he's in
soon.
Cavite
Oh,
right
JC,
now
sorry.
because he's gonna be holding a seminar tomorrow
Tomorrow
before the
and
big day
Sunday.
at
Yeah.
the lab where you are gonna do your seminar.
I'm excited, man. I've been seeing that lab, and I'm like, yo, it's one of those kind of dojos that I really want to
Mhm.
be at. Like, not for nothing, but I like big gyms and whatnot. But I have
Mhm.
this certain attraction to just like intimate setups.
Mhm.
Even when
That's
I
true.
used to be in the music industry, like even when we had the whole stage and whatnot,
Mhm.
I'd rather rock it in a small speaker box and just like with
Yeah.
people close to me. I don't know. It's always been different like that.
Yeah.
Hear you.
And yeah. Well, my question for you is, I mean, we've done a lot of things in the past few weeks, past few months to try to uh, impart knowledge to a lot of people in different boxing groups. We've kind of penetrated that already. Hopefully, a lot of them who have been so far educated with the free stuff that you've come out with are going to attend the seminar. But can you maybe give us an idea on what they should be expecting? Because a lot of people are
Mm,
asking me for questions
yes.
Right.
about what's going to
Preview naman
happen.
dyan, coach.
Yeah.
For sure, man. I mean, I'll be glad to do so. So, one of the things that I did at Elorde, like I'm a sucker for details. I'm the
Mhm.
biggest sucker for intricate details.
Mhm.
Like that's how I bang my head on every night. As far as like, okay, always try to picture different scenarios and problems and how to fix it. Like y'all been talking about, right? We have to be somehow of of man, what's the term? I always say it. Now I forgot about it. You have to try to fix stuff as much as possible,
Mhm.
right? Because I think when you start thinking about client psychology or customer
Mhm.
psychology, right? You have to
Mm,
understand that everybody has a different learning curve. You
yes.
can't push out your own agenda to each and every one of your clients just like
Not a
that.
cookie cutter thing, right?
Exactly. Like,
Mhm.
let me give you guys an example, right? Back in the days when I was starting, I had maybe say for example, I had 5 clients that day. And I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm pretty fit, whatever, whatever. But at the end of the day, I was like, why am I so tired? Right? And it's not physically tired. And I figure out like this, right? So in that same day, you have 5 clients, and all of them, say for example, will be happy that day, and
Mhm.
then or in a good mood for that matter. Then they come out the next time or the next day, and you're thinking that, oh, they be in a good mood, same way as they were last time. but they're not. They had a problem. They fought with their wife, their girlfriend, whichever the case may be. And now I started experiencing this emotional roller coaster with my clients. And I'm like, I cannot approach them the same way I approached them the other day because they're not in their right mind and they're not in the right emotional status at that particular moment. So this is how I started adjusting the way I taught things. But then again, there's a lot of very, very, Coach Goodbye said it so good the other day when he posted that, the promotion. He said, get off your high horse. I think that's such a very, very important thing for a lot of people to understand, because like the last thing we want is to get incompetent when it comes to teaching. Like some people's attitude on teaching is like, oh, they don't know that much yet, so I don't have to educate myself just yet because they're not on that level yet. I can just teach them what I know already and just kind of lay back and do what I do for now because it's not that important. When I was starting, remember something, I live in a country where there's multiple world champions, Muay Thai kickboxing. I'm like, how do I separate myself from these people? Right? So I was like, let's get back to the 10,000 hour rule. Everybody knows that the rule to mastery is 10,000 hours. Can you guys hear the rain?
No.
No.
Oh, okay,
Not
good.
really.
Because it's raining pretty hard right now. So yeah. And I'm just like, okay, so how do I do this? I think educating yourself is so important that when I was teaching 11-hour days, I used to put 11-hour days, right? I would always save an hour and a half of that day for myself. What I do is I'd study and eat for an hour, whatever topic about boxing or that, and I would take a nap for half an hour. This is 7 days a week, 365 days. I don't miss. And believe it or not, 15 years in, I still do that. Because that's when the I wouldn't say just the fire, but it becomes like a wall. When you stop educating yourself on what you're doing, it's just it's a vicious cycle.
It's easy to slide down into
way too easy.
laziness, right?
It's the same thing over and over again. Okay, let's pad work, this and that. But my question is, what if you could offer even just a little bit of something that day that they go home and there's something to think about? If you don't leave that kind of feeling towards your clients, your students, and whatnot, then I gotta say that you're not doing a pretty good job being a teacher. If you want to be that kind of coach, I'm not knocking on nobody. Everybody got to get their paper. Everybody got to get paid. But in terms of solidifying your status as a coach, as a teacher, then you always got to do more. Satisfaction should never come easy, because with satisfaction comes
very appropriate. Yeah, satisfaction should never come easy. It's always got to be worked for.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think in anything, like I chose this because I felt good, like with the people, of how people reacted to what I was teaching them. And I always say like this, right? Like each and every one of your students is your own product. Like my goal, I've always had this goal in teaching. I said, it doesn't matter if the student doesn't like train here anymore. Say, for example, they start training somewhere else, they move to another location or whatever, and then somebody sees him in the gym. Hey, man, you look good with the shadow boxing. You look good in sparring, this and that. Where'd you go? Where did you learn that? And the time they say lion's head, the reaction that I'm looking for those people is this: no wonder. It shouldn't come as a surprise. And that's how I try to make. Yeah, man. I mean, I think the biggest marketing that you're supposed to have is the people that entrust their progress and improvement from you. And to me, that's the most important thing, man. Like, I think each and every coach that wants to progress in their career should have that mindset. That every single time they come in that gym or wherever the case may be, that they have to leave something to their client, to their student, that they want to be able to think about. Oh man, like coach really did this good drill today. I wonder if I could do like maybe one more set of that or combination, blah, blah, blah. Because the moment they stop thinking about you, that's it. You know, you wouldn't want to be the guy that somebody asks him a question like, yo, are you learning boxing? Yeah. From who? Oh, this one dude. Shoot, man.
Some guy.
Some guy. You never want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I always want to be that dude who like, oh, nah, man, I'm learning from JR. Oh, you know what? Coach JR, that dude. I don't even have to say the gym name. So every single day for 15 years, regardless of what may come, that's always been my goal. That's always been the golden chest at the end of the tunnel.
Do you think people, like coaches specifically, have this become lazy because they think eventually, oh, this thing should be easier because I'm so good at them, that maybe teaching basics should be like just a walk in the park to me? But what happens is, and I've experienced this when I was starting out, there's nothing worse than a trainer that has no enthusiasm to train you. I think that's right.
It's terrible, man. Like I've seen trainers like that, and frankly, like if smacking them beside the head was legal, I would have done it already. No, just try to keep it real, man.
True, though.
Like say for example, right? I not boxing related, but I was working out in one of the more like bigger gyms out here in Thailand. I think it's called Fitness First or whatever. And I was working at the first time, and I saw this, like, I think she was about 55 years old, this woman, and this dude, you know, he was massive. He was just one of those like guys whose shirt was like, you know, 2 times smaller than his own body size and whatnot. Like his titties were literally sticking out, and I was just like, damn, this dude is big, right? And the first workout he gave this 55-year-old woman, let me guess. One of you get one guess each. What kind of workout do you think? This is a weight area. What kind of workout do you think he gave the woman?
Bench press.
Yeah, fucking bench press, bro. He gave the damn woman a bench press workout on her first day.
Did she die?
Bro, my knuckles were going like this. I was like, man, you better not. So I actually
better not kill that woman.
I actually approached this lady. I was like, excuse me, ma'am, respectfully speaking, like, you know, I know what I'm doing, and I'm not trying to like knock on the dude because I know he's just trying to get paid as well, but that's beside the point. I'm like, I don't want you to hurt yourself, so please maybe ask him.
Grabe, coach, di ka nakatiis, ha? You really approach the woman.
It's very gut wrenching to see stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. Though.
And I'm like, look, I think I don't even mind YouTube learners. Like, there's a lot of like good content on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, if you're gonna work, if that will be your line of work, especially for the people, I mean, like us, right? We take this shit seriously, and we have our heart into it, we have our mind into it. And I feel that for the people who desecrates that kind of like scenario for me, I'm like, yo, man, don't come to my gym. Don't fucking come to my gym. So yeah,
I think we talked about this with those quote unquote US based trainers, JC. Right?
Yeah.
Yo, man. Hey, listen. Hey, do you mind if I give my 2 cents on the homie right there?
Go ahead.
Like, no, go ahead. He just opened a gym
so,
nearby, so it's okay.
Once again,
they may be listening. Please listen up.
I come with no disrespect. That so I'm gonna break it down real quick for everybody who's listening right now. And I'm not Mr. Know-It-All. This is just from my 2 cents. This is just from 15 years of experience, and from having my head bashed in to the other way around, to being like super critical about a lot of things here and there, to train champions, so on and so forth, right? Some of the stuff that he said actually made sense. Yes or no? Correct? When he said, you don't got to be a world champion to teach blah, 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 blah. That is 100% real.
Yes. Right?
Because I've seen trainers out here who are belted. It's like you say, like basketball coaches should be good basketball players at the same time. They should be on a high level, like FIBA or whatever the case may be. That's not always the case, right? But the one thing that got me, I was looking at him. Somebody sent me that video, and I'm like, huh, all right. He actually make a little sense. And then that video when he was trying to teach the people came out. And I'm like, oh, word. Doc. If the dude is listening right now, once again, I mean no disrespect. I ain't that kind of dude, right? But I'm just saying that I think the words just didn't match the videos.
Oh yeah, for
The
sure.
skills aren't there. The words
Yeah.
are there. The hustle is there.
But if y'all want me to talk and keep it real 100% get your motherfucking basics on. If he's
Yep.
listening right now and whoever's out there listening, I appreciate the fact that he's giving people like work. To me, that's fucking awesome. Hands down, that's noble. But then don't preach what you can't teach.
Yep.
Or is it the other way around? I can't remember. But I'm just saying, if I can't even, I don't know, man. I'm getting a little bit giddy on this one. Like, if I can't even throw a goddamn punch, then I'm like, how am I supposed to teach the other person the next one? It's really as simple as that, though. Right?
Exactly.
So, you know, like, but
Maybe it's
once
another
again-
martial art he's actually teaching. Where maybe he's not really talking about boxing or like.
Hey, could be some Sanda shit, man. I don't know. Like, it could be on some. It could be some level shit. But you know, I mean, I think his heart's in a good place. I think, you know, I think he's out. Hopefully, he's really out there to watch over the trainers that needs work. But at the same time, you know, my advice to the people that showed him hate and showed him a lot of like criticism and whatnot, like, calm down. Let's give him an opportunity. Let's give him a chance. Everybody started from the beginning. We all look like shit. Everybody.
Exactly.
It don't matter.
I think that's what's
I
nice
salute
about it,
him.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I actually salute him for fucking putting out that video. I'm like, he know he about to get criticized as hell, but he still did it. So I'm like, respect. But at the end of the day, like I said in one of my videos, man, we look like shit in the first time. So we just got to give an opportunity to some people.
I mean, why would we
Yeah.
do it if it wasn't hard? I mean,
Yeah.
we could just play chess or like. I mean, chess is hard in its own.
You know, don't underestimate that
don't
shit.
run, don't fuck with the chess players. Don't, like the Russians might hear me, man. So.
Hey, you see there's like Russians on the chat right now. You're like, who the hell is Paul?
he just this chess.
Right.
But you're completely right about that. Like, of course, a lot of people will say, "Oh, you gotta be a great fighter and like a champion for like to teach." Like that is just not, true anymore, right, JC? Like we were talking about how John Kavanagh, like who else? Eugene Behrman, that dude who trains Paddy Pimblett, he's never competed.
Yep.
It's Paul Rimmer. Okay, like,
That's
these
the thing
people have
about
never
some some people who criticize people who have never fought,
Mhm.
but are really good coaches. I mean, usually if you know the sport, like say boxing, you'd see if someone really knows what he's doing, right? I mean, so it's really sad to see people, trying to bash other coaches who they think have never competed, but actually teach really good stuff.
Oh yeah, man.
To the
And know
point
how
that,
to teach, right?
yeah, they know how to teach, and even their students go to compete in like internationally. That's even a bigger thing. I mean, considering they don't have even in actual boxing, I believe there are like legendary trainers who've never really fought, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Did
There was
Fred
this
Roach
one-
ever teach? I mean, compete?
Yeah,
Freddie
yeah,
Roach
man.
did.
He did
The
it.
reason why he's got the Parkinson's is from getting hit too hard in the head too, because his defense wasn't that good. He just like took everything.
Oh, there you go.
He's one of those type of dudes, man. But there was this one guy, I can't remember. He's a dad of a fighter, and the dad learned boxing from YouTube, and he taught his son, and his son is a world champion. I gotta find that detail for you guys. I saw that.
Crazy.
Wow.
But Bernard Hopkins said in one of his interviews, I love Bernard Hopkins. He's always got something good to say. He said, there's 99% trainers, 1% teacher in the game. To
Mm.
reach that level is a very, very different
Yeah.
like ball game. Like
Yeah.
one of the actually back in my old gym, there was this one Cuban dude, right? He
Mhm.
always come in clean, man. He got the plaid shirt, he got the slacks with the line in the
He's
middle,
dressed up.
and he got the thick glasses. And he would
Mhm.
sit there for 12 hours a day without lifting a finger. And he's one of the best coaches I've seen. His attention to detail, and he doesn't
Mhm.
even speak that loud anymore because he's old.
Mhm.
He would come to the he would call the guy's trainer and said, "Yo, let him do this and that," and like almost some soprano Goodfellas type of shit where they just kind of like do all that kind of stuff. He was straight up G, man.
He's
And
like a
then
John Danaher of boxing.
exactly, man,
That thing
something
that
like
that
that.
guy says.
And the next thing you know, like, oh shit, he's doing it now and he improved. So I personally, I always say, man, like being a coach doesn't mean that you have to be good in pads.
Mhm.
Being a coach, you have to have good eyes,
Mhm.
and you got to
Yes.
have a very knowledgeable background behind those eyes because
Mhm.
it's like entering the matrix.
Yeah, yeah. Can you
It's
tell
very
us
much
more
like
about it?
that.
Like, so powers of observation, big
Yeah.
like encyclopedic knowledge to check your um
And
coaching again. So what else are like the good values and attributes of a great coach?
uh Knowing how to troubleshoot, there's one of my
yeah,
biggest things because
definitely.
Situational troubleshooting.
yeah, because you like for me, say for example, okay, I know I can fix this person's form in 2 moves. If they
Mhm.
can't understand the first one, then the second one they'll definitely understand. But
Mhm.
I strive to look for that third, fourth, and fifth possibility just for the hell of it. It's like a mental exercise, right? Like my father-in-law, my wife's dad, was one of the best business people I've seen when he was still doing this thing. He
Mhm.
owned an engineering company and he didn't know jack about engineering whatsoever, right? It's the same kind of concept, correct?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
he taught me
Yeah.
this mental practice. I'm going to share this to each and every one of y'all tonight. He said, JR, if you want to be able to be in sales or sell something or whatever, right? You need to, you need to do this mental exercise every time you go out. When you're driving or you're just sitting on a bus station or whatever, look for the most weirdest thing on the floor, on the street, or on the ground. It could be a plastic, it could be a tin can, or whatever the case may be. And take that product and see how you can clean it, market
Mhm.
it, sell it, and make profit out of it. You're not necessarily doing it to that old plastic bag, but the continuous mental exercise that it gives you manifests in what you're about to do in the future. So now when you see a product like, okay, you know what? How do I make profit out of this? How do I make this
Mm.
$1 thing become like 20? You know what I mean?
So
Like,
it's a
do I?
mindset, more of a
Yeah,
mindset
it's
Yeah.
a,
thing.
it's a mindset. But to most people, like, because they don't have that they never got that advice from somebody. So
Yeah.
I don't really blame them all that much. But at the same time, it's good to have a role model beside you to like make you see these little things. I think the little
Mhm.
things matter the most. So with me, like the observation, the keen observation, and knowing when to nip that particular mistake at that moment is very crucial. Like it's
Yeah.
funny because I would have a class of like maybe say 8 to 10 people, and sometimes I'd be facing the other way, and I'd call out a mistake on the opposite way. They're like, "Coach, how the fuck did you even see that?" You know what I'm saying? But that's
I
just
see
years.
you.
Yeah, exactly. That's just years of like, you
Mhm.
know, even from their positioning, I already know that they're about to make a mistake,
Yeah.
and it becomes such a habitual thing over the years.
Mhm.
So yeah, man, I think coaches should have really good eyes, and on top of that, the observation and the know how on how to like
Mhm.
fix these mistakes.
Yeah.
I struggle, coach, with for myself. This, of course, I'm a new coach,
Mhm.
more than you guys. It's how do you recognize like fatigue and almost giving up in some people while others they still need to be pushed. For me, that's always been a constant struggle, especially
Mhm.
with,
Mhm.
older people, because I teach
Yeah.
mostly artists and creatives.
Right. You know, I struggled with that at some point in my career too. Like, I feel like, is he just like messing with me that he's tired?
One
And he
hundred
just,
thousand hours to immortality. I'm sorry.
yeah.
That was funny, coach.
I'm about to find a pill for that, coach.
I know.
No, but I think over the years, like for me, you know, you get to know. This is what I'm saying. Like, getting to know your client
Mhm.
is a crucial part in the relationship between coach and student.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you got to get personal with your clients right away, but asking them a simple stuff as how was your day? You know, how do you feel today?
Did
Because
you
there's
eat
always
today? Stuff like that.
there's
Okay.
always external factors that could be the reason why they're experiencing that. It could be a heartache, they could have a diarrhea, whatever the case may be, right? But sometimes they're not very verbal about it because they don't want to try to fail you, especially if they look up to you as a role
Oh,
model.
Mhm.
They're
okay.
like, no, I'm not
Medyo
going to say
nahihiya.
shit. Yeah,
Nahihiya pa sila,
yeah,
boss.
yeah. So
Mhm.
it's your job. But remember something: once you become a coach, you automatically become a psychoanalyst right away.
Yeah.
That's true.
It gets
That's true.
pushed past that border right away.
Mhm.
Like, okay, why does he or she look like they're dragging themselves today? So a simple like, hey, you all right? You feeling okay? And they would say, yeah, I'm all right. But they have that little, you know, tone of the voice, you know, all of this kind of matters. At the end of the day, I mean, my degree in psychology really helps out a lot.
Mm.
So,
I'm okay. I'm okay.
yeah.
The back is still doing, coach, and then they're crying like.
Yeah. No, but you find out sooner or later
Mhm.
that once you extend that question a little bit, hey, did you eat? I got some stuff in the fridge that, you know, and then they kind of like, yeah, maybe I you know, I'd take that. So this is one of the things that I would teach as far as like client psychology is concerned. Like, you have to find the thin red line between
Mhm.
getting personal
Mhm.
and just like being a very caring individual for your
Mm.
clients.
Yeah,
Because
that's
all
the
of these
professionalism and the personal. Like,
exactly.
okay, how do we?
Yeah.
Because
You
I don't want to
know,
be your friend, but I want to take care of you.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Because at that particular moment, that relationship is live.
Mhm.
It's not like, you know, you don't want to consider that as a dead relationship. Not, there should be no thick wall between you guys. It's like, you know, professional for me. Professionalism goes as far as this. When I teach like my other coaches, the one that I certified, it goes to the point that I don't even let a guy touch a woman's skin with their bare hand.
Mhm.
It has to be the other way around, or they use like a pad or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because these are stuff, believe it or not, that the clients would remember. They would appreciate that
Mm.
shit. They're like,
Yeah.
huh, I've
They're
never seen
little things
anybody do that.
to us, but they're big
Yeah.
for these
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
So
Some.
you know,
Some. Mhm.
go
Yeah,
on,
some
JC.
I've observed that in the years of going to different gyms. I've observed that. So there are some coaches who, when they handle clients, they leave us the dudes and they go to the to the women,
Yeah,
and sometimes they're a
Oh
little bit too
yeah.
touchy,
Yeah.
yeah,
which makes me
What you
cringe a
doing,
lot.
man?
Yeah.
of course, man. That I mean, it's not. It's everywhere. It's a global matter that needs to be
Mhm.
addressed. I remember who was that? Sorry, Coach Castro. I remember he had
Mhm.
a post before where one of his clients, right? I think the woman was like competing for a bodybuilding or
Mhm.
a physique competition,
Yeah.
and he asked Coach Castro, "Hey, Coach, is it okay if this person is at my coach is asking me for a butt pic? Like, you know,
Uh,
yeah,
oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
you remember
Jesus
that? Yeah."
Christ.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck?"
When is it
But it's
ever
good.
okay?
But it's good that he outed this dude. I think dudes like that is supposed to be called out.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a
Hundred
I
very
think
percent.
pervy
there's
move.
there's too many people out there who's dedicated themselves into what we do, only for a bunch of like rotten motherfucking tomatoes to
Yeah.
spoil the entire industry. It's always like that in every industry, right?
Mm.
So I was like, man, I salute George for that, because I was like, That's some, but who's gonna fucking say something to Coach Castro? You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's fucking, that's just dirty, man. That's just some,
Yeah.
yeah.
Beware of the
Yeah.
predators out there, guys.
Because
You got it, man.
one of the thing with these kinds of coaches is some of them are not exactly real coaches.
Yeah,
One of the things that a lot of people are
they're
confused
in
about
it for
is,
the
yeah, they're in it for the
potential
chicks. I
mates.
guess we can say that. um, one of the big things that people are confused with, I'm sure even in the boxing group, they are confused about that, is a difference between an actual coach and a pad holder
Oh
or a
yeah,
mitt holder. Yeah,
yeah, big
because
time.
some people automatically assume that just because some dude knows how to hold pads, he's a really good coach already. But care to explain to our viewers
For
how
sure,
you
man.
should differentiate that.
I tell people that I encounter, there's nothing wrong with being a fucking good pad holder.
Mhm.
It's like in a basketball team, right? You ain't gotta be Michael Jordan the whole time. You can be Dennis Rodman and just
Yeah.
get them rebounds and be the best in that position. You see, like, say for example, Cuss the
Mm.
model.
Yeah.
This dude is just hanging off the rings all the time. Who's doing the padding? Kevin Rooney,
Hmm.
right? Who else? Garcia, Robert Garcia. Now he's not holding his pads as much anymore.
Yep.
He has his own pad holder. Look, let me just make this clear now. Not like you said, not because you're good in pads and you have all this fancy pad work and whatnot, that you can be a technical boxing coach. You can be a fitness boxing coach, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't play yourself, because you gonna get exposed. You're like a white belt trying to like pretend to be a black belt in a Brazilian gym.
Gonna get found out very quickly, sir.
Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? And I have this. I invented this term. We call it the peacock syndrome.
Peacock
So
syndrome.
yeah, so they blurt out all the nice colors. They're all Nike'd out and whatnot, but they're trying to hide something. They're trying to not hide, but like they're trying to make up for something that they don't really have yet. So it's mostly just a presentation. I mean, there's nothing wrong with presentation. With my fighters, I tell them like, look, man, presentation is everything in boxing too. Like, it's the Japanese food concept. Japanese food ain't nothing but rice, some sauce, fish, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But why are we so enticed to eat Japanese food all the time? Because they're placed so nicely. That bento box, you're like, man, that looked good. I just want to like gobble that stuff, right? So it's the same thing. Like, people who doesn't know much can be attracted to these peacock syndrome coaches. They're like, wow, he must know what he's doing. He got the.
It's like a pimping phenomena, right?
He got the chain on. He got, you know what I'm saying? He got,
coat.
yeah. But you'll realize sooner or later that that's only going to carry them until whatever. And man, the industry nowadays, especially with clients, they're getting more smarter. They're starting to see who's who can actually offer them something good, and who's the people that's just like, trying to like run them over for their money.
Yeah.
So my thing is that coaching, like, going back. Sorry, before I go on with this, it's like saying, look, I teach boxing, but I teach fitness boxing. Clarify that.
Yeah.
Because somebody might say, oh, I teach boxing, and then you try to like, oh, can you coach me? Because I'm about to fight.
Oh,
And-
shit.
Exactly. And this dude absolutely has no idea. Like, but he didn't want to like sound like he didn't know what he was doing. So he's like, yeah, coaching, fighting, that's easy. I'm just gonna like tell him to throw a few jabs here and there and move his head. What I heard from other people. And now who's in trouble? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course, the
So,
coach.
I mean,
Poor
if
guy.
you want to, for experienced coaches, call somebody out, but don't call them out in a very negative way. And say unless they come up with you with an attitude.
Yeah.
Show your fucking belts, like, here. this moment. You know what I'm saying? No, no. All joking aside, like I think
Show your pimp
everybody
hand is strong.
exactly. We call in the Bay we call this the act right. You know the back. We call it the act right.
Backhand.
Yeah, the backhand. Yeah, but I think, man, it's a progression. It's there's nothing. I was
Yeah.
a fitness boxing trainer for. I spent out of the 15 years, I spent 3.5 years doing that.
Mhm.
But I also put myself down to like really getting deep with the fight game, getting into it myself, and obviously learning the curves, learning everything as much as I can. And I was lucky to meet a lot of good people in my life, especially like the head coach of the Thai national amateur team, the Olympic team, Coach Omar, and he was the one who taught me a lot of things about being a professional coach.
Yeah.
But just don't. I mean, to all the people that are listening right now, don't front. It's okay to be a fitness boxing trainer, and you can learn. Nobody said you can't learn to be a fight coach, but you have to immerse yourself in that environment. A fight gym, fighting is very different from just like a couple of people throwing the pads.
Yes.
Because people will be sharing like, oh shit, you slipped that way, but that wasn't working. And then you start hearing that and you're like, oh, as a collective, you're like, oh, okay, so that's not good. Maybe we should try this, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
as long as they don't lie about it, I'm
Yeah.
I'm cool.
I
with
think we're all on the same page, like, because
Yeah.
here JC and I have always talked about the people who can just teach, like, and the clients who just want yung pampapawis, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
for sweating, right?
Nothing
You know,
wrong with
for
that.
exercise. You know, like, that's a very honorable thing to be doing, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. That's what JC is doing, and for you though, you're coaching fighters, and that's a whole level of risk that I would not want to take on, right?
But see, not many people can have the same what you just said right now. Like they don't understand that being a fight coach, somebody's life is getting entrusted to your
Yeah. Yeah.
fucking knowledge.
Yeah.
A lot of people have this misconception that like, oh, okay, I think I know a little bit of something, so I can advise you. It has nothing to do with advices.
Yep.
The first thing any fight coach is supposed to have in their head is that this person's life is in your hands right now. If you can't understand
it.
that, you have no business in being a fight coach at all.
It's amazing though how
Like,
many
not
people are
even-
arrogant enough to like not
Yeah.
understand that, right? To even like put it out of their head.
Yeah, because they want to front. They want to be known as the next Freddie Roach. They want to be known as the next whoever, right? And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be in that level, but at the same time, like I said, you're not the one getting your head bashed in the ring. You're in the safe zone. Okay, let me tell you. I'll tell you a story, right? I've actually slapped somebody on the side of his face for doing that kind of stuff. I confronted somebody in an event, one event. So he had this guy who just moved from one gym, and he said the guy's only been training for 3 months, right?
Wow.
MMA. This is MMA, right? And I was in the crowd. You know, I was in the crowd. I was like mingling. What's up? And they didn't even know who the matchup was. It was a very weirdly organized thing. And it turns out the guy that this young dude is fighting, the one that's only been training for 3 months, is an ex-convict who's a professional Muay Thai fighter with 200 fights and like 16
Wow.
MMA fights. Amateur.
That's crazy.
You know what happened?
Goes violence.
He chose violence. And the first move was a spinning back kick to the head. And the dude was like on the floor.
Yeah. That's
Oh, shaking and
I let
rigor.
the coach save him first. And I dragged this dude in the back and I literally could give him one.
slap.
And he was shook. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Your man just ate the floor because you think that he's ready. And that's one of the other things that, I mean, in the industry that got me, had me known, because I'm like, yo, that's why I've fathered a lot of like fighters around, amateur fighters whose coaches are like that. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm like, I'm tired of that bullshit. I take people under my wing because I'm like, look, man, you are not qualified to be a goddamn coach. You're
Yeah.
just not. And I have no problem if you keep learning, but if you put somebody in 3 months of training,
Yeah, that's
and yo,
That sentence, man.
some people don't even know how to throw a proper hook in 6 months,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
right?
And that's not a problem. I mean, people learn on different, paces.
yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is if you put them in a fight, then
It's a
that's the
completely
problem.
different
Yeah,
story.
and the fact that the guy assumed that after 3 months of training, his guy can already go up
How
in a
much
cage or a ring and
talking up,
fight is
right,
crazy.
does that
It just
require?
means that he doesn't know what he's doing.
He doesn't. He doesn't. And I have this one. I have a dude with me here right now. His name is Bryson, and he had. I mean, bro, I took this guy in because it's not just about being sorry for him, but he's been through like coaches that like they would drink the night before the fight and leave him alone to go find girls, and he would not have a coach on fight day.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah.
It's not a coach. It's like,
So I'm like, you know what, man?
that's an
Let's
illegal recruiter.
let's end this. Like we got to speak up, man. Like I think platforms like yours is a very good way to like look. I'm not expecting everybody to like me. Let's just make that 100% real, right? I'm not expecting everybody to like agree to what I'm saying, but at the end of the day, what I beg for is that just consider the life of this person in your hands.
Yes.
That's it. I mean, no jokes, no nothing. The most serious way possible. They want you as a coach because they feel that they can trust you with their life, not just with the fighting game. It's the hurt business. You never know what
Yes.
could happen.
Yes.
I don't think people understand that, right?
Yeah.
It's the hurt
But you know
business.
what? Yeah, man. I mean, I think we should. I think it should be an ongoing mission for all of us. I think for the people who actually cares about the industry and the business alike, it should be an on. I mean, this mission should never stop because there will always be this one guy. So this one guy would start learning, and a new guy would come up again, like think he knows the whole world, and it's going to be a vicious circle.
Yeah. Well, that's what we love about you, coach. Everybody knows at all times where they stand with you, and you never fail to call out bullshit or bullshito when you see it. And we really appreciate your time. Can you,
Yeah.
in wrapping up, give us like an idea? First of all, I'm really curious about your coaching certification. What does it entail, and how do you like? What do you look for in coaches? Like, how difficult is it? And then, can you invite them to your
Yeah,
September
yeah,
seminar
you're
here?
For
They fly
sure, for
over?
sure, man. Well, first and foremost, before we leave off this podcast, I just want to thank you guys again and everybody that tuned in today. And I really appreciate
There's
the
a
time
lot
you
of
gave
people
me.
listening apparently, and Coach Gabay is very engaged. Like, can you
yeah.
read that out, JC? Like his last comment is very like, I think people
Yeah.
will like it. There you go.
To the coach, my personal pet peeve, making the client compete if they're not ready. Just for experience, they say, stupid coach. Yeah, man. I mean, it's facts. These are the stuff that we have to deal with in the coaching industry because everybody want to get known too fast. They don't want to lay down the foundation, and this is where tracks go off, and next thing you know, it's a fucking train crash or the train just flipped over. But anyway, man, for everybody out there who's listening, I go by the name of Coach JR. I am the founder and head trainer here at Lions Boxing Academy in Bangkok, Thailand. I am so excited to come back to the motherland, get my Jollibee going. First and foremost, I
Yeah.
touched down, and you know what it is. It's the Big B, man.
Put on
And
a
then,
red carpet made of Jollibee chicken joy
Red
for
car,
you.
exactly. It gotta be. It can't be red. It gotta be red and yellow. You feel me? So now, all kidding aside, September 24th from 10 o'clock until 1:30 in the afternoon, I will be at Elor de las Piñas to get my first session going over there. So if you feel that you live closer to that area, go to that one.
Yeah.
My man James took care of the Google Docs for you to like register in the Gcash app and all that kind of stuff. So we will start doing our aggressive promotion in a week from now, and then on the same day on the 24th, we're going to the lab, baby. We're going to be at Broaders Lab from 4 onwards. Right. So I'm so excited to meet everybody, man. Like I've been getting a lot of messages and I'm just stunned, man. Like the welcome that they've been giving me online has been great. By the way, man, one of the other things I want to say, shout outs real quick to this 5-year-old kid,
Yeah,
Shadwell.
that kid's
His
amazing.
Man,
daughter. Wow.
I
Grabe.
that
Very
that
talented.
that makes my heart grin size. Like I see this dude, and he, I recorded a small like video for him, and his dad, Jan Ray, I think it is,
Yeah.
and he's been very thankful. I'm like, man, you don't got to thank me a million times a day, but these are the stuff that you need to be doing. Like not
Mm.
everything has to be about money.
Mhm.
I think
Yep.
it's our job to inspire the next generation. As simple as that. So yeah, and then basically, if we can't fit, if say for example, the number of people spills out, I think we have 38 like max for the first day,
Mhm.
Oh,
and
you are Pinoy. You are the honor of our race. Yeah.
what's dangal
Tangan.
dangal?
You are the honor. You're like the pride of our race.
Oh man, like I represent big time, yo. I represent big time everywhere. Like that's one of the things that I like about about being Filipino. I think
Mhm.
we have such courage, we have such tenacity in what we do. And for anybody out there who knows, man, we are born, we are bred fighters, whether in life,
Mhm.
whether in whatever. Like it's just an innate thing in us, and it's time for us to let the whole world. I mean, there's a lot of people that know that in the whole world, but we got to keep spreading. So going back to the topic real quick before we finish up, if we can't fit everybody on the 24th, we'll put him on the 25th.
Mhm.
Coach Gabay from Brawlers Lab, I want to thank you so much for opening your doors to
Mhm.
me. I'm a nobody, man, and you guys are doing it great over there. And I just want to be a part of it. Like the moment he offered me staying, my heart just melted, and I'm like, yo, that's what's up. That's what this whole thing is all about in the first place. And if ever anybody of you, any of you guys are out here in my turf, say no more. Say fucking no more, man. We got y'all. Like the gym will be closed, like indefinitely, just so we can do something.
Already planning it. I'm
You
looking
guys-
forward to that tapay. And like
Yeah. Maybe we can
Legalized-
have the
legalized
the,
thing
the
that was
striking
like
protocol thing
recently.
in Bangkok.
Woo! That would be
Yeah.
something else, man.
Yeah.
SP represent over here in Thailand too. So
I know.
whatever I can
Wow.
do for you guys, let me know what's up. I mean, I think it's just a matter of connecting everybody and then
Mhm.
making it like one big pot of just learning experience for everybody out there. So, guys, thank you so much. And for all the people who's listening, maraming salamat. And sana pumunta kayo dun sa seminar ko sa September 2022. Um,
Mhm.
I have a lot of things to like to teach you. Sana maging profitable yung pagiging coach nyo. That's one of my biggest wishes. I don't want you to just be able to put food on the table. I want you guys to be able to like live a good life from what you love doing. That's my entire point. So Carl and James, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
Cool,
you.
man. JC, take it away,
All
sir.
right. Yeah. So that was Coach JR Crisologo, head coach of Lions Head Boxing Academy, Bangkok, for this Destroy Manila podcast. Thank you, and
Yay.
join us again on the next episode.
Peace.
Alam. Thank you, Coach
See you
JR.
guys. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.